What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down 0.88%, 595 the low, 630 the high. So in general, it did get dragged down with the broader US market. And as I've stated in the past, which is rather frustrating, NIO just simply gets moved by algorithmic trading. That's where roughly around 60% of the volume comes from. So I think in general, this morning's sell-off was largely unjustified. Even the data that did come out from China was very optimistic. So last night we did have at 9 p.m. retail sales, industrial production, unemployment, all coming in for the most part, with the exception of industrial production, all better than anticipated. And I feel like that's been a big thing for not just the States, but on a larger scale is just consumers. And retail sales coming in at 2.9, forecast of 2.2, unemployment 5.1, forecast of 5.2. So phenomenal stuff. So I think in general, that should have really moved NIO and other Chinese stocks higher, but through algorithmic trading, that's it's at the mercy of the broader market. Today, no official news, no SEC filings. You see a lot of articles talking about institutions and what they've been doing with NIO. So latest 13 Fs that have been coming out, you did see some pretty interesting ones. And so for instance, looking even at the ones that was disclosed today, it looks like 2Sigma did make a brand new position of 2.9 million. A lot of institutions increasing their position by about 1,700%, 1,300%. This one new call options. So this is Sig Broker. So just shy of around 15,000 call options. So pretty good stuff for that. But I think in general, you see a lot of these big ones. So 12 million shares and this one right here. So instead of just scrolling here, you can kind of look, this is the top institutions holding NIO right now. So as of disclosed today, we do have a new highest holder, and that is Aspex. So Aspex, from what I can see, was founded in 2018 from their website, and I couldn't really determine exactly why they did invest so much in NIO, but nonetheless though, they do have now the highest, so 35 million shares. So definitely something significant for that. UBS was previously the highest with 28.7 million. That's the updated amount. Call options, they have just shy of around 13 million, and then puts just shy of around 9 million. So they have a little bit more of a common strategy. Very bullish though, UBS as well as now Aspex. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. There really hasn't been that much in speculative topics. A couple of things coming out about European expansion, but I think that's already been brought up on my channel at least since last week. So just expanding, and so that's kind of good. We just have to wait and see how the demand actually does go. But at the time of doing this video, shorts are increasing 2.1 million shares. So given everything, it is fair to assume that institutions are buying. That's just the basic math, right? Because if you kind of figure it out, shorts by them right now increasing, they're adding selling pressure, and maybe they did some damage first thing and caused all this, but ultimately right now there's about 43.4 million shares being traded. 57 is the average. So shorts are trying to slow NIO down. It's not really working out too well for them. These are some of the transactions occurring on the secondary market, so half buying, half selling, so not that much for that. But the dark pool seems to be a little bit more popular. So as I kind of mentioned, with shorts increasing, it is fair to assume that it's actually hedge funds that are buying NIO up. So definitely good to see. So you see a lot of institutions in Q3 increasing their position, and most likely the next 13 Fs when they do come out in, what was it, February, mid-February, that is where we should be seeing also institutions buying the dip. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that, looking at the options, 3.1 million in calls, 1.7 in puts. 51% of all the options being done today are bullish in nature. And I look at a lot of different stocks throughout the day. Hands down, that one does stand out. NIO, because a lot of bearishness is in the broader market. So definitely good to see. I don't know if some of that has to do with NIO's upcoming earnings. Right now, the expected move for NIO's earnings has become a little bit more volatile. Previously, it was kind of low 10s. Now it is 11.56% in either direction. It's almost a 71-cent move in either direction. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be above 650 and now even 8 going into next week. And then the week of their earnings, it looks like 7. So feels like the bulls can't really kind of concentrate on exactly where they want it to go. So they seem to think that it's going to have a nice push leading into the week of their earnings, but the week of their earnings for it to be $7, that doesn't fully make sense. But from a bear standpoint, it seems to be pretty consistent for it to be sub kind of 6 to 650. So given everything, there's definitely a lot more upside than down. Right now with a 618, for those of you that tuned into my pre-mark video, I said that NIO really needed to get above that 611 if you're going to see any sort of recovery, and lo and behold, it did. And so that's a good thing. So just watch for 611 over the next couple of trading days to hold. And then 652 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And then the next strong support would be 544. So things could get very scary if it does break below that 611. So just kind of watch for that. Aside from that though, just in case you guys will care exactly why the algorithmic trading is really suppressing NIO, it's still a lot of that shutdown fear. So the repercussions to the shutdown and how damaging it is to the GDP. So these are some estimates that did come out. So 60,000 jobs lost, $9.2 billion worth, and about 1.5% a hit to the Q4 GDP. So that's exactly why the market is kind of freaking out and algos are really suppressing a lot of stocks. At the same time though, the likelihood of a cut for the upcoming December meeting is gone down. So now a 45.9% likelihood of that occurring. So in general, like I said, a lot of that is very much linked to the States, American data, but as per usual, NIO gets influenced by all of that. Aside from all of that though, on the actual chart, still not really looking too great. So it is wedge bound right now between that 10-day moving average and that 100. So that 100 is sitting at 587, wasn't tested today. So that's another element to kind of watch for. Looking at the market position, you don't really see, like, I don't get that warm fuzzy feeling that people are really like massively buying the NIO dip. So still a lot of fear in the broader market. A lot of willing sellers roughly above about 650. You have some willing buyers up until around that 595, which conveniently that's actually the low for today. And then aside from that, a little bit of a gap right there. So things, I think overall are a good opportunity. I know I've mentioned in the past, NIO is one of those extremely frustrating stocks, but the best thing that you can do is just dollar cost average. It's very difficult to catch the bottoms as well as the highs, but if you dollar cost average, I think overall that's kind of where things do play, are kind of advantageous. No new analyst ratings on the side note. As far as articles, there's really nothing coming out. One article that was posted about 8 hours ago, and that's just about the European expansion. So no crazy new news. But yeah, it's so it's kind of radio silent. So on a technical level, just watch for that 611. But let me know your general thoughts on NIO, and if you are buying the dip, are you selling? What are you kind of generally doing? And then aside from that, going back over here for a second, why do you think that Apex did buy 35 million shares? So what's your kind of general thoughts on that in the comments below? One final thing, if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.